Hello, we are descending down a hill, down a mountain, some might even call it.
Ooh, the temps dropped again.
The temperature is dropping.
It's a hot day here.
We are at the where are we?
Portola Redwoods State Park?
We are at the Portola Redwoods State Park. It's been quite a twisty road that's come down, even more twisty than it was on the way to the Castle Rock State Park.
So we talked to a lady at the last state park we were at, and she said it was going to get cooler here because we would be down in the redwoods. And so the temperatures have dropped about 4 degrees since we were at that last place, Castle Rock State Park.
There's a lot of moss and a lot of lichen on these beautiful trees. I'm seeing a bunch of madrones, a lot of buckeye. But it's beautiful here. The shade is magical, and we're very excited to visit Portola Redwoods State Park. Welcome to Portola Redwoods State Park.
What new species?
Evergreen huckleberry.
That stuff is really cool.
It's your State of the State Parks podcast with Chris and Moe.
Hello and welcome to the State of the State Parks. I'm Chris.
And I'm Moe. Today we continue our journey into the San Jose Redwoods, where we take a quick trip into the Portola Redwoods State Park.
This place is deep in the woods, down some windy roads, past some of the cutest snail signs.
The native Californians of this area, who inhabited this land for thousands of years before colonization, comprised quite a list of tribes. The Kiristí were the most populous of all the tribes in the Portola Redwoods area.
In 1769, Spanish explorer Gaspar de Portola traveled by land from San Mateo down to San Francisco, never actually making it to the actual spot where Portola Redwoods ended up.
In 1849, the gold rush began, and so too the destruction of the redwood forests. The numbers of trees that are cut down during this time is staggering. We dive into this tragedy in future episodes.
After the gold rush, the land changed hands a few times to a few different fellows interested in trees and really the wood that they were able to sell. 97% of the redwoods in the next 50 years would be chopped down for lumber. So sad.
Okay, yes, sad. But in 1924, the owner of the land, John Hopper, sold over 1,600 acres to some Shriners, who in turn built what is today the Visitor Center. When the Shriners' numbers dwindled, they decided to sell their property to the state of California for a whopping $112,000.
Wow. In 1945, Portola Redwoods State Park opened. The park has doubled in size since then. Thanks go out to the Save the Redwoods League.
All right, we're going to jump back into the car with us, where we're about a half mile away from the Portola Redwoods State Park.
We're a half mile away. Portola Redwoods State Park, the end of the county road. Welcome to Portola Redwoods State Park.
Cute sign.
Cute sign.
Banana Slug's in
Banana
road.
Slug's in the road. Oh, wow. That was a sign that we just read. We should take a picture of that, too.
Do you see slugs in the road? I think it's too hot. to
It might
drive
be
for the
too hot
slugs.
right now for the slugs to be in the road. But we love banana slugs.
Oh my god, we're slug heads.
Slugheads? Sluggies? 1 mile to the ranger station.
Ugh.
Bridge across the water.
Maybe we could take a little walk down there.
Man, it is cool here.
that it?
73 degrees now. 5 minutes ago,
I think a minute ago we were just talking and it was 80.
5 minutes ago we were driving and it was 86 degrees. We drove our way deeper down into Portola Redwoods State Park and found our way to the visitor center. We decided to go on in before we took a walk around, and we met a very wonderful park volunteer.
So we are the cooperating association that supports Portola Redwoods and Castle Rock State Parks.
Love it.
We were originally founded as volunteers in Portola by some folks that live right up the road.
Wow.
And said, hey, we could do more, right? And then in 2012, we need to close some state parks. We don't have any money. So they had big fundraisers. We partnered up with Save the Redwoods League and Sempervirens and Post, and we helped keep the park open.
Awesome.
I joined the board.
Love it.
Right? And so it's, what are the different ways that you can volunteer, right? And some of it is volunteering out on the trails, but this store is completely volunteer run. So we do all sorts of different programs and projects, and our whole mission is to raise money that we can put back in state parks.
I love it.
And so we've helped fund improvements on the front porch,
Which
right?
is beautiful.
So we've done that, and some of the interpretive signage that you see, we partnered up with REI.
Oh,
right?
that's great.
And so that's part of what we do is to try and find
those.
those deep pockets when you can, right?
We all need them.
But also just finding folks that want to help. And one of the things that I'll ask you is, would you like to donate $1 today to help us make more improvements?
Of course.
We would.
Right? And so adding $1, and I mean even simple things like we have a little coffee station, and it's $1 donation to fix yourself a cup of something.
Great.
I love it.
I love it.
Right? And so, but we help out in funding maintenance projects. We help out with interpretive projects. There's a project this fall that's going to be replacing the steps to Tiptoe Falls.
Okay.
Right? Where Parks is going to pay for all the labor.
Oh, cool.
We got a lumber partner to donate the wood.
Oh, my.
But we'll be buying the rebar.
You guys are the angels.
And so we work it, and we try to help identify, priority projects that parks may not have gotten. It's like, well, but we have the money for it, so.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the whole volunteer program you were a part of?
Portola and Castle Rock Foundation.
Yes.
And we just came from Castle Rock.
We just came down the hill.
Excellent.
We went on the hike this morning.
So you went on the guided hike?
No, we just went on
okay.
We got out there early because we don't do well in the heat. So
I
it was a hot day.
It was already
although it's
hot.
cooler down here, so I think we actually did it right.
It's like 20 degrees cooler down here than it is up
Yeah, well, and it's going to be 105 in Manteca, so I'm going to be hanging out here for
there.
a while.
It's a better place to be.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that we do to help.
That's awesome.
Make things happen. I mean, and it's the little things, right? Funding the marshmallows for the campground or the campfire, talk and little things like that.
That's amazing.
I love
right?
it. I
And then
love
the
that so
camp
much.
host that's here helps out a lot as well, because that's something where they, come in and they help to take care of the campers. And the wife of the couple also likes to come in here.
Oh, amazing.
Which, we're volunteers, so we don't have somebody here 7 days a week.
Yeah, you're like, this is great.
Right? I mean, if we could, but, even the closest person lives over by Castle Rock.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, maybe
And
a little
so-
more exposure and a little more people interested can come help.
Absolutely. And what's great is that Portola Redwoods has the redwoods, has the camping, doesn't have the crowds of Big Basin.
Yeah.
Sure doesn't.
Right?
Is there year-round camping here?
No. Camping is from April 1st to hopefully the end of October every year.
Okay, what's the hopefully about?
Well,
Fire.
because there's fires, there's drought. If the creek isn't flowing, we can't flush the toilet.
There you go.
So many times we've had to close early for camping because of lack of water. And so we're working on a water tank that we originally thought was going to be ready this year, which is now another 2 years out because of budget constraints. And,
Of course.
And you've got, the licensing and permitting and just all of the stuff when you want to do a major infrastructure improvement. But the concept is once that big water tank gets put in, it'll also provide fire suppression.
And you guys obviously don't do RVs or anything like that. It's all just tent camping, right? I don't think an RV could fit through there.
If you can drive it, I think they'll allow up to like a 28-footer, but I wouldn't.
No way. We drive a 22, and I've been the whole time coming down here going, I am so happy we're not towing right now. Even in a pickup truck, I feel a little like,
yes. It's one of those things that my first visit here, the person driving had to stop halfway.
Oh, wow.
And I tell people, look, take the full 20 minutes to get back to 35.
Yeah. Take your time. Take your time.
It's okay.
In fact, when someone asked me for directions to Castle Rock, and it was, okay, so take 20 minutes to get to the stop sign. Turn right. Continue to the next stop sign. And then keep going another 5 or 6 miles. Because
that's it.
Because the second thing that people ask is, what's the Wi-Fi password?
No.
There's no way. If you need me to look up something for you, I can look up something for you, but I will not share the Wi-Fi password.
No.
Because we have the Wi-Fi in order to have
of course.
for our point of sale system.
Yeah,
of course.
Right? But we used to have a really strong Verizon signal. And I watched him sit here and work.
Oh,
and
no.
his kids came in, no, I gotta work. Dude sat there the whole time I was here working. The whole beauty of this park is you don't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, granted, when you suddenly go, but I need ice. It's like, okay, well, go to the stop sign, turn left.
20 minutes.
When you get to when you get to Alice's, go across the street, go to the market, get ice.
Here you go.
There you go.
You know.
Amazing.
But yeah, so we try to provide a variety of products here, so that there's interpretive products with the books.
Well, yeah.
There's souvenirs.
We've read just about all your books over there.
I love them. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a nerd. I've read all these books.
Yeah, no, well, that's part of the thing that we try to do, right? Is to buy and stock the books that can really matter, like this Coastal Redwoods book, right? Is actually published locally.
Oh, cool.
And is on the reading list of a couple of San Jose State courses.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And then we've got Rare Bird, and because you got to have. It's the book on the marbled murrelet, right?
Oh yeah, we've heard of the marbled murrelet.
Because that's the other thing with the marbled murrelet, right? Is that there's times of years that it's the marbled murrelet nesting season, which means no power tools.
And when is that season?
March to September.
The marbled murrelet, scientifically known as the Brachyamphus marmoratus. This mid-sized fowl is a funky bird. Averaging around 10 inches, these dark mottled, aka spotted, birds rarely flock and usually pair up. The marbled murrelet is a mysterious bird that had the ornithology world stumped until the mid-1970s. No one could figure out where they nested. In 1974, at the Big Basin State Park, a future episode, while climbing 150 feet up in an old-growth redwood, a tree trimmer named Hoyt Walker solved the caper. These birds will sometimes travel up to 50 miles inland to nest 150 feet up in an old-growth tree. That's right, 50 miles. They feed by swimming under the water and snatching fish. They swim too? The marbled murrelet with their seagull-like caws is on the concerned list with a population under 300,000. There's a wonderful video all about them on the Portola Redwoods State Park website. We'll link it on our website, datathestateparks.com. Now back to Becky at the Visitor Center.
So it does make it interesting for what you can do and what you can't do. But, those are coastal birds that come in and nest in the redwood. If you look up, I think it was Sempervirens that managed to put out the story before we got a big story out on it. Bird fell out of the nest last year.
Oh, no.
And it was reported, and they managed to go and get this little bird, and I can't remember what agency it was, but, got it and took it someplace safe so that it would survive.
Oh, wow.
And so
Oh my God, that's awesome.
that stuff is really cool, right? So when do you guys think that your podcast is going to come out?
I would say within a month we'll do we'll start it. We wanted to have about 4 of them all done, so we had stuff to continue to put out while we're in.
And so, how are you going to be promoting it? Are you going to end up doing it on Facebook to promote?
Probably. Yeah.
So then make sure you tag our page.
Oh, for sure.
So that we can help promote it.
Oh, for sure. We should get did you get her email?
No,
Is it on there?
but we should.
We'll just send you our...
Unless this is your email on this card.
Here you go.
Yeah.
I always have some in my pocket.
Oh, yeah, this is her.
You know.
There you go.
A little Silicon Valley type, right?
Yeah.
Oh, got some cards.
Exactly.
You know how to work a room.
Well, I mean, it's the way that we do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I went to one event and they were like, wait, you have cards? I'm like,
you don't?
I quickly realized that I was in a different generation of everybody else that was there.
Right, they're all digital.
We used to have cards. I mean, before the old iPhones.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Becky. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we'll tag you.
Excellent.
And we'll email you.
I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too. You too. Thank you so much, Becky, not only for the in-depth interview, but thank you to all the other park volunteers for all your continued service for making Portola Redwoods so clean and beautiful. We bought a t-shirt at the Visitor Center with a local banana slug in it. It was designed by Becky herself. This week's Pinnacle Pick is a picture of Becky holding this t-shirt.
Find our Pinnacle Picks on the stateofthestateparks.com under the Pinnacle Picks tab.
Okay, we're in the car. We just went to the park office at the Portola Redwoods State Park and met a delightful woman named Becky, and she gave us a lot of information, and we'll drop it in. Now we're driving through more of the park.
Picnic grounds, camping. I think we might be at the
End of
our little loop here.
End of the loop.
Employee residence.
Yeah. We could park a little. We could just walk a little.
Okay.
See if we could tag something. Follow us on Instagram at State of the State Parks to get behind the scenes extras and so much more. Okay, we've backed into a spot. Oh, we got our no hit.
All right, we're here at the Circle Group Camping. We're going to take a look around this campground. We got some good information from Becky. Let's go check out Portola Redwoods State Park.
We got out of our truck, turned on our microphones, opened up the seat gap, and started identifying plants.
Okay, I want to start my all trails again.
All right, we're starting out. We've got what looks like old growth redwoods here. I think this is a redwood. Let me make sure. Definitely a redwood, right?
Might not be able to tag anything.
Well, there's a little volunteer here on the ground. Sometimes you can tag the volunteers. Oh, here we go. Coast redwood. Just point upwards.
I bet you've had that before.
Replace old photo. Yeah, had it last year. Last year in June when we were up in the redwoods.
Up in Trinidad.
In Trinidad area.
What? New species?
What?
That's insane.
Well, that's a fun old bridge here with all this moss on it.
Yeah.
Here, take a picture of me on it.
Follow along with our photos and videos on our website, stateofthestateparks.com, under the Gallery tab.
5-leafed plant. What do you think that is?
I don't know. Western starflower.
Yeah. I got it from last year.
I have a new species. What are these little yellow? This looks like little DYCs over here. DYCs, or the family-friendly version, Darn Yellow Composites, a fun acronym to describe the Asteraceae or Compositae, aka the sunflower family. Flowers can be categorized as simple or composite. Simple flowers have only one set of parts, while composite flowers may contain hundreds of tiny little parts making up what looks like one big flower. Quoting and paraphrasing from botanist Mark A. Dimmitt, the sunflower family is stunningly successful. It is the second largest plant family after orchids, with over 20,000 species occupying almost all of the world's habitats except underwater. So many variations within a single group make composites the bane of many botanists seeking to identify the species. Because of this and the other great many yellow flowers, unidentified plants are often semi-affectionately dubbed DYCs. The family-friendly version is darn yellow composites.
Evergreen huckleberry. Evergreen huckleberry, that's a new species. Yeah, the little squeals. Sounds like babies. Chestnut-backed chickadee. So we've heard some interesting birds here at the Portola State Park. Birds we've heard so far: acorn woodpecker, chestnut-backed chickadee, the hermit thrush, the brown creeper, the Wilson's warbler, and the western flycatcher.
Portola Redwoods State Park, we did not spend enough time with you.
The campground was very well kept. The Keep It Crumb Clean effort with signs all over can only work if we keep our crumbs off the ground. We saw some birds in the corvid family, aka the ravens and the Steller's jay. Apparently, these menaces like to eat the eggs of the marbled murrelets. They wouldn't even be in the area if it wasn't for our trash. So, keep it crumb clean.
We would also not suggest bringing a trailer down here. The website says there are 6 sites that accommodate a trailer smaller than 21 feet, but there are no hookups, and as we talked about with Becky, it's a very windy downhill road to get here. So save your marriage, just bring the tents.
Portola Redwoods State Park has 18 miles of windy hiking trails. A hike we want to take next time when we have a whole day is the 11.9 mile long round trip to Peters Creek Grove, apparently the best redwood hike ever.
We also missed the leopard lilies. We had the right season from May to July. We just didn't see any this round. They can grow 3 to 6 feet tall with their leopard-like spots.
The Portola Redwoods State Park is definitely on the list to do a round 2 episode. The cool air and the great vibes, no cell phone service, no Wi-Fi, really made this place so peaceful.
We want to thank Becky again and all the volunteers at the Portola Redwoods State Park. We will be back. Thanks again.
Bye.
Welcome to Portola Redwoods State Park.
What new species?
Evergreen huckleberry.
That stuff is really cool.
It's your State of the State Parks podcast with Chris and Moe.